guys, and just so everyone knows the format, we're going to be very strict. 5-minute presentations, up to 2 minutes. Q&A, rotate. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Ooh. Hey everybody, great work on the hackathon, and hi judges. We're Team Trident, and here we go. The Wi-Fi accessibility is a challenge. Despite having hundreds of thousands of Wi-Fi routers in the city, it's often hard to find one that you can connect to without credentials. And that's not really a problem in the States. We have free Wi-Fi in cafes, in our own homes, of course. But in some countries like Japan, free Wi-Fi, or Wi-Fi without a contract, is really rare. And American tourists find that out the hard way by just getting there and realizing they can't connect anywhere. And there's no in the States anyway, platform for Wi-Fi sharing. So what we've created is a platform for Wi-Fi sharing. Hold on. I wrote a good kind of string of words. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. So we're improving Wi-Fi accessibility by allowing individuals to sell connectivity via personal Wi-Fi routers in exchange for IOTA tokens.
So what we've got in our stack here, I'm actually not going to use the microphone. I'm not a loud guy. In the back end, basically, we've got a Hashstax IOTA node, which is running a private IOTA network to do payments. Then right here on my computer, you guys can see this, judges, but it's a little delicate. I'm not going to move it. Is an ESP8266 Wi-Fi microcontroller, which is serving up Wi-Fi as a hotspot. That's connected to my computer, which is connected to Node.js server, which is running right here and managing the payments with Hashstax. And we've also got a dashboard, which is basically the dashboard for Wi-Fi providers to be able to see who's connecting, how much IOTA money am I making right now.
Okay, cool. Now, Trident on the go. Imagine I'm working on the Japanese street, no Wi-Fi. Now I find this Trident open hotspot. I get connected, and like a user client side pops up. Very simple, one button click. Let's try to click.
Shoot, didn't know it. It's pretty finicky. The ESP8266 has weak reception, but let's see what happens here. Try again.
Yep. Wi-Fi is not. Okay. So now I try to connect with the open hotspot, Trident, and one click.
Ah! There's something with refreshing.
Yeah, try to refresh that. But what will happen once it works, and it will work in a second, is basically his seed, which is in the code of that device, is going to generate an IOTA transaction. His private key is not going to leave the device, but it's generating a transaction which is passed to the Node.js server, and the purchase is posted to there we go. Yeah. Posted to the Tangle, to the IOTA ledger, which is called the Tangle. And you have like a certain amount of time for doing stuff. So right now he's sending a message before his 30 seconds are up because he only paid 1 IOTA in this example, which gives him 30 seconds. Yeah. Did you send it?
Yeah. Sometimes we try to make it free. So during the extreme case and disaster time, we will open this. We will basically open our hotspot free to everyone, especially like places like Japan or.
But you can log in again right now.
Yeah.
So basically, when time runs up, it gives you a notification saying time is up, and then it returns you to the.
Please pay a little bit more IOTA.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's a lot more things we want to implement here, like being able to choose how much to spend, choose how much time you want to stay on there. If we had another day, we could do a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Some things we didn't explain yet is we have a block stack identity system built in to basically handle reputation for these Wi-Fi providers. So people who are using their Wi-Fi could rate them, like this person's got great service, or maybe this person like had some hacked router that took my IOTA and didn't give me service after a minute or something like that. So that's really important here. Technology isn't obviously the solution to everything, human reputation and community is also part of it. So we think Blockstack is a pretty good solution for the identity layer there.
Yeah, also looking into the future with machine-to-machine communication and economy, because we're using IOTA, it's easy for maybe a drone needs to unload some data but doesn't have a Wi-Fi connection. If it finds a post that's using Trident, it could pay a little bit of IOTA to connect for as long as it needs to upload data.
And obviously another really exciting use case is places where there isn't cellular networks at all. In like far out in developing countries, someone could bring a Wi-Fi network out there, which costs money, right? So they should get a return on their investment. And
So
this would be a way.
30-second warning on the presentation.
All right, this would be a way for people to basically serve Wi-Fi, get people to connect, and get money back from their investment into infrastructure in areas like that, which is a huge problem right now for development. You know, humanitarian aid organizations. How do we make this sustainable for people? It's really tough. So.
Okay, so since the time is up, so I have to reconnect again. So
Again, works sometimes, doesn't work sometimes. We got to work that out. But you guys saw it
It's the
once.
receive. Yeah.
It's this thing right here.
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we take some questions?
Yeah. Any questions you guys got? Yeah.
So you're talking about rating the provider. Are you looking at the implications if you're like rating users? Like, like is there an identity type of layer that you're adding onto the user side, or is it just the provider side?
So, I mean, part of the thing is these Wi-Fi networks are totally open, right? There is no password. So in terms of the user, I mean, it's super hard to know who that person really is, because the whole point is anyone can walk up to a router. All they need is IOTA tokens on their phone. No matter what country you're traveling to, you just have to get some tokens beforehand. You don't need connectivity. All you need is to be able to post that transaction to the provider. So in that sense, the provider, I mean, has a home base. He's got a spot. People know who that is. But for the user, it actually makes sense for them to be anonymous, just because then it's easier for, I mean, then anyone can connect without being verified, without having an account, without having a subscription. And that's kind of the main thing. Subscriptions are nice, but the future, we believe, is, hey, nice, is all about show them when it times out and the alert comes up. The future is all about on-demand, ad hoc.
Up, so
He just got kicked off.
yeah. Not able to
And the identity is really the way that you make this connection seamless, right? Because you have this identity of things that now create this
and
trusted connectivity between.
exactly.
things
In this
without
case,
needing
the identity for the user is the IOTA seed that's stored on their device. So that's their private key, which they're proving to the world. I own this money. I'm going to use your network. You know. That's kind of my answer there.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks, guys.
I actually got one more.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
go
go
for
ahead,
it.
one more question.
Let's say a big announcement on IOTA happens and everything costs 10 times extra. What happens? Am I still paying this set rate?
Because the
Yeah,
price
that's
goes up.
actually
Yeah.
a great question. And we could implement exchange rates into it so it costs more or less. Personally, my belief is the dollar is going up and down too. It's just something that we don't
I think the
notice.
bigger question goes to the stability variance of the like crypto tokens. These days we're seeing more and more like instead of ICO, but safe coin offering.
Yeah.
They're hooked up with the US dollar, UST, DC, something like that, right?
Yeah.
In the future, I do think the crypto will be stabilized by hooking up with this kind of
Also,
the real assets. So.
To be 100% clear here, in the Hashstax platform in the back end, our payment node is actually not the IOTA that you see on exchanges. It's an entire new set of tokens. So that's just, it's a private network. So this obviously would need to be the public IOTA if it's just completely peer-to-peer, but if this is an enterprise solution and an enterprise wants to deploy these all around the world, maybe they can create their own token for that and stabilize it how they want. Some like the stable coins do nowadays. They take some out of the supply into the supply, stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, since each connection provider is their own person, like they pay for internet and they're deciding to let people use it at a cost. They may also be able to choose the price at which people borrow it. So if IOTA goes up, they can make it reasonable.
One comment here, like two comments. Number one, the IoT device angle. Like, what's your response to that? You know, beyond a smartphone and a laptop or a router.
Right, so
Are
something
you
we
imagining any other devices that would connect to these ad hoc networks?
totally thinking about, like, say a drone is going around, needs some electricity, and
And
they
it
don't.
could make it its own decision-making.
Right, it's like, okay, looking around for Wi-Fi nodes who are kind of broadcasting, they have an electricity charger available. They could just kind of fly up, they don't have to trust that node, it's completely trustless because they're paying for it.
Yeah, cool.
And of course, self-driving cars is another one, although most self-driving cars will probably have cellular in them already, but.
Okay. And second comment is we actually built a proof of concept on Wi-Fi sharing
Cool.
over this last year, so it's a good idea.
Yeah.
All telcos are thinking about it, so it's a good one. Yeah, well done.
I have a question about, I see you've got a Swagger editor up there in one of your tabs. Did you, is this your actual Swagger? Are you built to the
This-
Hashtax APIs? Are these?
It's actually auto-generated by Hashstax, and it's what our node backend is using right here to, here we've got a payment confirmed, so that just posted to the payment there. But yeah, this is auto-generated by Hashtax.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, guys. While the next team sets up